Of Lamar Johnson heads back to court in St. Louis tomorrow. A hearing will determine whether his murder conviction should be overturned. Johnson has spent decades in prison, but he says he is innocent. He recently sat down with investigator Angie Racono for a limited interview. It is a story you'll see only on 4.
This is just a moment I've always been waiting for, that I've been fighting for 28 years. And so, I mean, I'm really ready to be able to present this case, present the evidence, and I expect it to turn out right.
Lamar Johnson has spent more than half of his life in prison. He's convicted of murdering his friend. In 1994, Marcus Boyd was shot and killed during a drug dispute on this porch in St. Louis. It was late at night and dark. The masked gunman ran down this alley.
But I was not killing anybody. I didn't kill anybody. And I just simply hadn't grown up enough.
Johnson says he thought if he cooperated with police, things would clear up. After all, he had an alibi and claims there were phone records. He participated in a lineup.
Because I was willing to participate in a lineup. I was voluntarily willing to do that. I did participate in it, and I just didn't expect anybody to identify me as being one of the people who killed Marcus.
The man who picked him in that lineup now claims he was pressured by police. Turns out he was also compensated for his testimony. There's even more to the case. 2 men have stepped forward admitting to their involvement in clearing Johnson.
It's unbelievable.
We recently met with Johnson inside the St. Louis City Justice Center, where he waits for the hearing. He dreams of eating an omelet with pepper jack cheese and seeing his ailing mother.
I get tired of crying.
Johnson teared up remembering how an investigator agreed to take another look at his case. There was a hitch. He'd try to prove Johnson was guilty as the first step in the investigation.
Oh, I always get emotional when I talk about that, because I knew that if a person went in like that, that once they were convinced that they would fight for me.
He didn't know the fight would take so long or be so hard. Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner's Conviction Integrity Unit reviewed the case 3 years ago. The report doesn't mince words, using phrases like unconstitutional police investigation and prosecutorial misconduct on the very first page. The summary flat out calls what happened as Johnson's wrongful conviction. There was hope Johnson would be freed, but the case has struggled for years to get before a judge due to Missouri law. St. Louis and Philadelphia started conviction integrity units at roughly the same time. St. Louis is still struggling to bring Lamar Johnson's case before a judge. In that same time period, Philadelphia has freed 25 people. Only one person in the state has been freed under a new law that gives prosecutors the power to take cases back to court, and that's Kevin Strickland from Kansas City. He spent 43 years in prison. Jackson County prosecutor Jean Peters Baker wrote about it in the Washington Post. The headline for her opinion piece, "Our Surreal Fight to Get Kevin Strickland Released." She details a legally combative process, casting blame on the Missouri Attorney General's office. Her point is clear. It shouldn't be this hard to free an innocent person.
I think the truth is going to win out.
Johnson says he's confident about the hearing. He's comforted by an Old Testament scripture. Be sure your sin will find you out.
I think that you can lie, you can deny, you can hide the truth, but eventually it's going to find a way. And so that's what I'm comforted in that.
Angie Racono, KCTV5 News.
News 4 will be in the courtroom for the hearing. It starts tomorrow morning and is expected to last all week. You can also follow any new developments from the hearing on the KMOV News app and our website, KMOV.com.